What is up, ladies? Welcome to episode 22 of the Young Monarchs podcast. My name is Tiara. I am your lovely, gracious, and super grateful host, Tiara. I am super excited for this episode. Thank you to everybody who has been listening, everybody who has been watching the Young Monarchs channel on YouTube. You all know I'm recording an episode and recording this YouTube video at the same time. Thank you for sticking with me. Thank you for it all. But be sure to follow us on social media at _Young Monarchs. If you want to follow me at Miss Tiara XO. But thank y'all for tuning in. This podcast and this platform is getting so much love. I love it here, and I'm super excited for everything we have going on. So on the podcast today, we're talking about feminine energy. If you are watching on YouTube, you see me look down. I'm looking at my notes. Mind your business, sis. Mind your business, sis. I'm looking at my notes. But today's episode is all about feminine energy. I noticed something this week in social media and a lot of things that I've been seeing that kind of struck something within me. And I kind of noticed that I wasn't really expressing myself in my most feminine ways. I wasn't being super flowy and all the things we're going to get into today. So I'm super excited about this episode, and it's really kind of like something that I had to teach myself while coming up with this episode. And it's definitely something that I'm working on this week and really forever. So let's go ahead and get into it. Feminine energy, just as a whole, people say, oh, energies, vibes, blah, blah, blah. But feminine energy is it's what women naturally exude compared to men. It is the basic definition of male energy, masculine energy. The opposite of masculine energy is feminine energy. And for me as an individual, I'm so ambitious and so goal oriented and driven to do the things that I want to do in this world. I feel like I exude a lot of masculine energy because from everything, just to say, I do my research before I have podcasts. So I get my definitions, I get my facts, I get my sources cited and all of that. So I'm definitely trying to be educational, but related to what I'm going through and how I'm experiencing it right now. And it explains it as masculine energy is us going after our goals. We're making progress. We're getting things done. We're pushing forward, not stopping. We're on our grind and we're going after the things that we want in this world. Is us exuding our masculine energy. And for me, in creating this podcast last fall and just working on it, I was exuding so much masculine energy. When it got to December, when I kind of took a whole month off of creating for Young Monarchs, I had to tap back into that because I was so pooped and so worn out from exuding so much masculine energy. I felt like when it came to creating content for the podcast, I was blocked. I didn't know what to do. I didn't have any clue as what I wanted to create, what direction I wanted to take it in during that time. And I just kind of felt stagnant, I couldn't figure out what was going on with myself. And from everything I've been reading more and just gaining more knowledge on how to become my best self, because I am self-development queen. I love reading self-development books. I love just listening to other women and how they express themselves and how they've taken their own personal journeys for different things. And I'm super excited that I'm now sharing my journey with you guys because it's a movement and we on our way. But so masculine energy is us going for the different things that we want in this world, whereas feminine energy is expressed when you pretty much are going with the flow of life. And I have never gone with the flow of life until now, where I'm forcing myself to kind of get out of my bubble. You don't have to, I'm telling myself, you don't have to plan everything. You don't have to have every note written down for everything. You can just go with it and see how it goes for you. Just flow from the heart. But feminine energy is like embracing your creative side. It's dancing, playing, just being in tune with your internal process. And there are so many different ways for us to be in tune with our internal process. And I definitely feel like that's where it starts. Like, if you don't know the things that you're interested in, if you don't know the things that you like, dislike, you want to try, if you don't know how you feel, it's like the main one, your emotions. If you can't express to someone else how you feel, how can you say you feel any type of way? So your feminine side is just getting more in tune with ourselves, letting things flow from our heart, letting things flow in our lives, letting things come to us, being, playful, having lots of movement, different things that I've read about. And it's all like, it just wakes our spirit up. As women, dancing and being creative and getting in tune with ourselves, it kind of like wakes our spirit up to be exactly who we're meant to be. So for me personally, when it comes to getting in tune with myself, I don't do this as much as I should. I can't even lie to you, I do not do this as much as I should. But journaling is my go-to number one ace boon coon true facts and figures of me, like, manifesting the life that I want to live. Like, this whole podcast is about creating the life that we want to live by our rules, and I do that by journaling. I do that by getting everything that's in my head out on paper. So in my journal, I journal everything. Journaling everything. If you listening to the podcast and you ain't on the YouTube channel, I'm showing y'all my secrets. I'm showing y'all my truths. Because I journal everything. I put like all of my faith into these sheets. I put in what I'm thankful for. I write down the things that I want. I claim things. I talk about me getting over things in this journal. I put everything that's in my mind, everything that's in my heart into this journal. And I definitely feel like if we're not even like, this episode isn't even about manifesting, it's about feminine energy, but just knowing who you are, having a journal, it's manifesting, it's knowing who you are, it's having a better bond with yourself to be able to say, like, today I feel this way, this is why I feel this way, this is how I feel this way, this is how we're going to get over this feeling that we're having, or this is how we're going to make this happen. Like, whatever it is, so just get you a journal and write it down in a journal. Like, TJ Maxx will help you out if you get a journal. But feminine energy is everything that goes into getting attuned with ourselves. Like, definitely taking it to the next level and becoming who we're supposed to be by knowing and listening to our bodies, listening to our hearts, and just kind of assessing things and getting into a place where we see where we're going, we know where we're going, and now we feel where we're going, and we are on our way. So we're going to go ahead and jump into the boss shit segment of this week's episode. And for this week's boss shit segment, I kind of want to give a shout out to women in general. Women who have ever felt like they couldn't be as sexy as they wanted to be going out, or if they couldn't be as loud as they wanted to be, or wear what they wanted to be because of thoughts or fears, or just not wanting to be annoyed by male species in any way. This is not a male hating podcast or platform, but I definitely feel like, me personally, my feminine energy was slightly halted when I realized that I had to watch what I wore, had to watch what I said, to watch what I looked like around older men or just boys in general, because they were creepy or pervy. And just seeing everything that's going on in this world right now, I am definitely on the path of reclaiming that, taking that back and just being like, I'm not going to be worried what to wear, what to say, what to do, or be in fear of what any man has to say about anything that I do or approach me in any type of crazy way, because I will you already. But when it comes to, in general, like, taking it back, not worrying about what we're wearing, just like not being bothered is such an issue, and it has greatly affected my feminine energy by me feeling like, because I am so curvy, because I am so beautiful and luscious and thick, that I have to cover up who I am, who I was naturally made to be, look, and feel like, just because of what a man might possibly say to me when I walk out the house. No, boo, we're not doing that no more. No more. Because it is fucking with my feminine energy, and I cannot let it happen. And that's this week's Boss Chick segment. Do you, sis? Like, don't care. Wear what you want to wear. Do what you want to do. Live your best life. And that's all. That's that on that. So there is something else I really wanted to talk about in this episode. And as always, I want to tie it back to society standards that definitely need to change. And when it comes to our feminine energy, I feel like in our culture, masculine energy is often seen as the progressive or the moving forward, like going after what you want and setting schedules and like hitting deadlines and accomplishing things and over exceeding, that gives off that like male energy. But when it comes to it, it's valued more in this society than female energy. Like, and this creates a clear and concise feeling of just being off balanced. And for me, like, just like thinking about young Monarchs, setting it up, I'm going after things, I'm hitting deadlines, I'm saying I want the episode up by this, I want this way, or doing that way. But then when it came to actually creating content that was feminine growth based and female empowerment based and just beauty in general, it was hard to like come up with things that have been so near and dear to me my whole life, because for so long in creating this whole platform, I was hitting deadlines, I was exuding that masculine energy like crazy, where I wasn't just being more in tune with myself. I didn't have time to journal. I didn't have time to just like sit and relax and see how I feel and see what directions I want to move in, because I was trying to get so many things done at a certain time. But society's standard of just that masculine energy being so like vibrant and so out at front, I definitely feel like it's harder for women who are extremely ambitious naturally to like take a step back and like reassess and be like, yeah, I am like making sure I take care of myself, and I am being more in tune with myself, and I am like. So next thing I wanted to talk about was society's standards. So in our culture, I definitely feel like masculine energy is a lot more valued and a lot like more praised than feminine energy. That going after what you want, that hitting goals, that hitting targets is definitely exuding that masculine energy. Like, women ain't going for things too. But that's besides what we're talking about. But I definitely feel like going after the things that you want, we exude that masculine energy. And when you're a super, super ambitious woman, we're exuding that because we're going for all the things that we want. But at the same time, we're not remembering to like take time for ourselves and do like practice, just, giving to our bodies, like journaling and doing different things like that. I definitely feel like we kind of get stagnant. So we always have to remember to like take care of ourselves, and you can be a boss and go for the same things, for all the things that you want out of life, and take care of yourself at the same time. And that's what I mean. A huge thing that goes into feminine energy, I feel like, that goes into just creating the life that you want, has to be like that self-awareness piece. And I definitely feel like both masculine energy and feminine energy are necessary in embodying a complete person. I feel like man, woman, everybody has both of these. If they want to suppress, if they don't, like they come out in different ways. But I definitely feel like you have to have an equal balance of both just to be like a whole person, if that makes sense. You have to be able to tap into different things. But overvaluing the masculine side also makes us more dependent on like man-made things like smartphones and cars and luxury things, whereas just in general having that more feminine side is just being more connected with life and being more connected with our creative side and the things that come natural to us, because women, we are creators of everything beautiful, living, and bright. So definitely like owning that creative side and not letting that masculine side take over, but just remembering while you're going for different things that you want in your life, just remembering like you also have to take time for yourself, like your individual, like your being, and see how you are as a person instead of just blocking the way you feel and the way you want to interact and the things that you're going through, setting those aside to go for your dreams. You definitely always have to take care of Ace Boone Coon number one, yourself. Alrighty. So for this week's Get Your Life segment, one thing in my journey with my feminine energy, given the vibe. One thing in my journey that's going well has been just like being more positive and being more open to different things. Just kind of like going with the flow of things, listening to myself and kind of seeing how I feel, what I want to do. Definitely trying to let my heart guide me and just kind of seeing what happened out there. One thing in my journey that I'm definitely struggling with, I can say it's that time, making the time to make sure I am writing in this journal. I am putting down the things that I want, writing it down somewhere. I am just kind of like, there's something like special about just writing how you feel and like physically writing what you want, how you see things, like what you want to go after, what you want things to look like, feel like for you. And today, like after this podcast episode, because I'm recording right now on Sunday night, podcast episode goes up tomorrow, I am going to write kind of what I want to see happen for myself for the next month, what I want to see happen with the podcast, YouTube channel, the platform as a whole. I'm definitely going for it all, and I'm just taking the physical steps to making it all happen. But everything that we talked about today in today's episode, everything that the Young Monarchs is about is becoming the best version of yourself in all of these different aspects. And there's something so special about getting more in tune with yourself, being the best you can be, being exactly the woman that you envision in your head. And that is the journey that I am on. That is the journey that everybody watching should be on. And be sure to check out this week's Thursday YouTube video. Every week from now on, I'm gonna have everything planned and set. Every week we're gonna have a theme, sis. Every week we're gonna stay on our task to making these things happen. But for our Thursday video, I'm gonna give 6 ways to tap into your feminine energy, why it's important, different little, maybe not 6, it might be like 5, it might be 10, it might be 6, it might be 8, I don't know. But I'm gonna give you guys some tips on different things that I've read, listened to, watched, learned, and I've experienced myself on tapping into your feminine energy and kind of getting that flow going and getting back in the groove to who you are. So be sure to tune in to Thursday's video. Like I said, if you're listening on the podcast, thank you so much. If you are watching on YouTube, thank you so much. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know how your journey with your feminine energy is going. Let me know if you agree, disagree, and why. We can talk about it. But be sure to follow us on Instagram at _young monarch. The one I wanted was taken. If you want to follow me, Miss Tierra XO, I have a lot of amazing things going. I am giving my all to this platform. This is my baby. This is going to be a lot of things that I am manifesting in this little notebook right here. And I'm super excited for all the podcast episodes that will be coming. Y'all know I do many episodes by myself, but I definitely love our long episodes where we have featured guests. And the guests that I'm talking to within the next few weeks or Dr. Kerm, they are doing their own thing. They're getting out here. And I'm super excited for the episodes to come. And I do love my little solo episodes where I get to talk to y'all about things that I'm personally growing in, getting through, and loving about my building my own little life. But last but not least, we gonna jump into the motivational tea. And this week's motivational tea, first I want to tell y'all, send me y'all motivational teas. I want to hear different things, like how y'all are getting to the life that you want. How are you bossing up? Tell me stories. Like, what have you guys been experiencing? If you're watching on YouTube, leave it in the comments down below. What are different things that you tell yourself to get through? Leave me a voice message on Anchor if you want to go to the link in our YouTube bio, the link down below in these YouTube videos. But I want to hear from you guys. You guys are telling me you're enjoying it, but share your journey with me. If I'm going to share, sis, you have to share with me too. I just can't be telling you all my business and you're not telling me none of yours. We're friends here. We're sisters. That's what we're going to be. So I want you to y'all's motivational teas. But my motivational tea for this week, and just kind of being more in tune with myself, is spend time with yourself. One thing I've noticed out of anything when it comes to just me understanding myself, me getting into a place of peace, place of happiness, to kind of where I understand what I want to do, understand what's coming next, and understand kind of what God sees for me, is when I spend time by myself. And especially for me personally, is when I spend time with God, either once a day, every morning, every night, whatever you do in your personal journey. But when I spend time with God, just me and him, I'm able to understand what he sees for my life. I'm able to tap into the different things that I need to do to be more open, to be more creative, to be more free flowing. But when I tap into just spending more time with myself and doing some of the tips that I'm going to give on this week's Thursday video, I gotta find out a way to say that better, are going to help you tap into your feminine energy. But definitely spending that one-on-one time with yourself, with your Lord. You have to do it because it is a major thing in becoming your best version of yourselves. But thank y'all so much for tuning into this week's podcast episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Be sure to give it a thumbs up if you listen on Apple Podcasts. Leave me a review. Like it on Spotify. Like this YouTube video. Follow us. You know where to find us. Young Monarchs. We are making things happen. And I will see y'all next week, when I get joined by some special ladies who are doing some bomb ass things in their world. But I'll see you guys on next week's episode. Y'all have a good week. Be sure to tune in for Thursday's video. I am Tierra, and I will see you guys and talk to y'all next week.